There we go. Okay, no sound.
We're doing this show. We are live. The panel broke like 20 minutes ago.
Okay,
Just
there we go.
decided to stop working. So Alberto had a chair over there, but
That's
how
fine.
you doing, Alberto?
That's warm.
Did your neck get
There
warm?
we
Yeah.
go. We're
Let's do
good.
the fire thing.
Just nobody will notice if you're sitting in front of it.
It's fine.
Okay, cool.
As long as I don't look edited in.
As long as you what?
As long as I don't look like I've been edited.
No, but you look like you
Okay.
have fire coming out your head.
That's fine, that's fine.
Sorry.
It would make it very easy to edit now because it's a completely black background behind them.
Oh, people
can green screen
people
it.
can just put Alberto into anything.
Hang
That's an
on.
option. That's an
Don't give late ideas,
I mean,
please.
someone
Big
else pointed out for Leith.
So let's meet some of the developers here who are joining us on this DefenseCon showcase. We'll start immediately to my left. John, tell everybody who you are, what you do.
My name's John Kura. I'm the vehicle director here at Cloud Imperium. Get to look after all these people.
Wonder
And
how
many more
long
around the
this
world.
one will be,
So
chat.
everything is ultimately your fault.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Immediately to John's left, Dan.
Yeah, I'm one of the lead vehicle artists. Just recently we finished the Ironclad. That was one of the things that our team worked on.
Yeah. And my understanding is you're the only person on the vehicle team who makes ships.
That's right.
Since
I've been trying to shake the reputation for years, but
Since
I'm just
six
running with
years.
it now. Why not?
I mean, at this point, that's why you're the only artist here.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Well, we got Willie.
Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris Danks. I'm a senior vehicle content designer, so I'm do more of the sort of back-end hookups of ships and stuff like that. to
How,
make my
how
ships
exciting
work.
is that?
It's a lot of fun, although I'm basically an XML monkey.
I've always thought so.
Yeah, it shows.
Matea.
Hello everyone, I'm Mattia, a senior vehicle game designer, and I'm an Excel monkey instead, because I do balance and features for the vehicle.
No, don't reveal that we still balance stuff in Excel. We're supposed to have these big giant tools that do this in
Why does
crazy
it look like
databases.
that?
Don't expose the business like that.
It's Excel.
Mark.
Hi, Jared.
Hi. And finally, Ben. Ben, who
Okay,
are you
that's
and what do you do?
I'm one of the art directors at CIG. I look after weapons and vehicles.
Hold on, chat.
And then what's going to differentiate this from more SELs is we're going to have visuals. We're going to dive live into the editor and take a look at the ships coming. And helping us with that are two folks for the first half of the show that airs today. Will, your first SEL ever. Tell everybody who you are and what you do. That's your camera right there.
Hello, I'm Will. I'm a vehicle artist 1. I joined about a year ago and I have exclusively worked on the Ironclad in that time.
But you're going to help us look at all the ships today.
All of the ships.
And then as Will goes through the Ironclad and the Assault and the M80 and the Starlight and the Tiburon, eventually we'll switch over to the other...
What the hell happened? Why is the screen so...
Let's look on that.
You want to get closer? Is that what
What are you going to sit on his lap? What's going on here?
For the camera.
It's Alberto. Oh, Alberto.
What's this?
Hi, I'm Alberto, and I am the assistant vehicle.
Oh, we fixed it.
Oh, that's why it's
No, it's not fixed. It's only
then
partially fixed.
screen is sized up.
Shadow fixed.
I'm so sorry, chat.
Yeah, and I'm generally in charge of concept art.
There we go.
and help
Okay,
them
that's
with the production
better.
of the vehicles in the
That's
station department.
better.
And after this year,
Okay.
it's going to be known as Mr. Odin. This thing's amazing. All right, so to get started, our first topic. Oh, yeah. For people who are watching live, hi, everybody. We'll be taking questions live from the chat. So we're going to take a look at some of these ships. And if you've got questions, go ahead and dump them into the Twitch chat. You can see I got that going right here, so I can take a look at what you're doing. Hi, Mom. Where's the Liberator? Not at DefenseCon. And we're going to start off today with a look at the Ironclad. So, Will, you got that fired up for us?
Yes, here it is. I guess we'll
There's
start
the
with
Ironclad.
the exterior.
Okay. So, Ben, John, introduce us here. What most people know what the Ironclad is. The Ironclad is a heavy freight. can carry something like 2,000 SCU.
2000 and something.
2000, I think it's 2,204.
Yeah.
How do you end up with 2,204?
It's because everything ends up as like divisible by 8 or 4s or 2s, powers of 2s usually.
Okay. So let's look around the. What's that there?
I'd say, and we wanted space for mules.
Meals, all right. So let's look around the exterior. Will, why don't you take us around and Ben, tell us what we're looking at here.
Yes, this is the new ship from Drake. It's big, it's square, it's got a lot of engines. It feels very Drake. I think I think there's a lot of well, it's also got the command module, which is new feature, detachable life raft. Did we settle on? I think in the end, that allows you to kind of get out of Dodge in case you need to get out cargo. I think the defining features are obviously the massive cargo bay at the front and
I
the
love
massive
the
engines at the rear.
Ironclad. It's one of my
I think-
favorite
What happened to the rest of the door there?
ships
Oh,
that we
Oh,
have gotten.
so we're in
recently.
edit at the moment, we're not in game mode.
Definitely
So
a nice second
we
ship.
are playing animations slightly separately to how you would normally do it in game mode. So we've used a few kind of internal tricks to make it so that we don't have to kind of drop into game and run around the planet and be able to show it off in the best kind of light that we can. I think, yeah, the interior of the ship is obviously dominated by the kind of cargo hold. But I think the rest of the ship kind of holds a lot of nice, fun Drake feeling visuals. This is the operations deck. Here you can kind of see out over your kind of the bow of the vehicle. Access to your tracked beams. Open and close your door. Really nice kind of viewing platform out over the ship.
Remote turrets.
Remote turrets, yep, and on the assault we've got the other remote turrets.
The more remote turrets.
Yep, and I think also like just visually, it's one of the kind of nice areas of the vehicle where you kind of can get that connection between the exterior and the interior. I think the big kind of bulkhead that runs through it is very nice, very fancy.
Ben, Mark, who's the Ironclad for? Like, what kind of player is going to consider the Ironclad here? Who do we make this for?
You said Mark, are you looking at me?
I said Mark and John. Did I say Mark and John?
Better Mark.
Oh, I don't know. I've never had this many people here.
It's to be blunt, it's someone who wants to do a lot of cargo. They want a ship that's relatively durable, and they like Drake that has lots of guns.
Yeah, because Drake ostensibly market this as a cargo manufacturer, but we all know what Drake tends to get up to, so sometimes the cargo is not as legit as it should be, or maybe the
Not
cargo
as
is cargo
legit,
you've got to deliver
he
pain
says.
to other people.
That's funny.
Maybe the cargo is someone else's ship.
Maybe the cargo is someone else. So
Not as
I wasn't going to go there,
legit.
John, but
yeah, it's sort of case to that. And externally, at least, I think it's pretty true to the concept. We did make some changes to it. Dan begged for an extra separate entrance into the top of it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few, like traversal was like such a massive thing for this ship, like versus like the concept I remember. And with the signage as well, I remember when we worked on the Polaris, one of the key pieces of feedback was that the signage wasn't like as good as it could be. And obviously we went back and edited that a bit, but with this ship,
We had the stairs around the other way as well, didn't we?
yeah, the stairs are flipped. I believe the elevator was added as well.
yeah, when we actually got it in, started running around it, once we actually started putting the block out together, we made a few changes just so it felt a bit more natural, because there was a lot of like back and forth in hard 90 and hard 180 degrees that people were having to do as they were walking around. So we softened a lot of the corners, put 45s in.
Yeah, like here the wall got knocked in, so this became like an open area here, which I think's really helped differentiate the different decks, which is obviously something that we tried really hard to do.
Yeah.
Each of them you should always like know roughly where you are, and when you're in a modular kit, because this is like one of the most modular ships we've ever made, obviously it's
That's
important
the
that you
developer modularity.
Yeah.
You always have to specify.
Oh, yeah,
there's-
true,
There's
right.
player-facing modularity, and then there's the method in which we make our ships.
Yeah, so like when we talk about developer modularity, what we mean is how the asset pack that you kind of use to author the vehicles. So let's say you have like a wall that's like 2 meters long. It doesn't make sense to model every single wall 2 times in the same way that if you were to make a car, you wouldn't 3D model every single wheel again, you'd want to duplicate it. So we kind of have this base layer of modularity of our assets underneath, and then we sit on top of that these extra assets that kind of make each of the spaces feel different. And it was really
It's a
important for us to
big
be able to
ship.
make it so no matter where you were
I
stood in the
love
ship,
how big.
you didn't feel lost and you were able to quickly
Ironclad
orient
really
yourself.
is.
I get the first time you're in it, it might be a little bit, it's a big ship, you're not going to know exactly where you're going, but it shouldn't take long to
That's
establish
the
that.
kind of like the sense of exploration, though, isn't it? Like the first time you enter a ship, you kind of want to explore it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
don't
yeah.
necessarily kind of just want to be like, I go in it and I know exactly what's going on. So I think that's kind of part of the charm of these bigger ships is that you do need to
Ironclad's
explore them a little
just
bit.
massive.
Obviously, like you say,
I love its
having navigation
funky
is
looking
an
landing
important
gear,
kind
too.
of user experience kind of thing that we need to be trying to improve. Obviously, we've got the mini map as well, which helps a lot with that sort of stuff. But I think you
shouldn't have to rely on
you
that.
shouldn't have to rely on that. And I think as you're heading towards engineering, even though you're in a corridor, you want to start seeing those kind of like engineering kind of elements kind of calling out and
Blending into the room.
yeah. So it doesn't feel like it's too kind of stale. And then when you get up to like habitation and stuff, you want things to be a little bit more clad, a little bit more refined, and
Oh, Will, slow down. You're in a race.
Sorry.
So I know we're jumping around lots of
Sorry,
different
no.
topics. So,
Let's go take a look at the command module. There's a number of questions in the chat about why the command module is such a critical weak point of the ship. What do we say to that?
Well, it depends what. I've seen a lot of discourse about it being like artificially weak, which I think is not
It's not intended.
is not intended. It should be sort of passing damage through to the main ship rather than killing everything. But there is like some intent, like design-wise. Like number one question everyone always has about the Ironclad is, why can't I fly it from the main bit? And that's never been the idea with this ship. It has been you have like this main block of a ship, same with the Caterpillar, and the command module gives you that functionality to fly around. That's the sort of USP of these sort of ships is it's not the same as every other ship.
Right. There's always this assumption that you're trying to make every single ship be the ultimate ship, and it's not. The ships are supposed to have certain trade-offs. Certain, you get this, but you lose this and stuff.
If you don't like it, that's fine.
There's 200 some odd other ships out there, right? The command module is interesting because it is, for all intents and purposes, a standalone craft. It can do everything. It can do everything a standalone ship can do. It can go to quantum. Everything. There was some confusion internally earlier. People kept referring to it as a parasite ship, and I'm like, no. If anything, the main hull is the parasite because it needs the command module to survive, not the other way around. So it's. So as far as it being a critical weak point, that's something with the damage not being passed in.
Yeah, no, simply it's a bug. That simple. What is going to happen in live instead, or when we're going to fix it, is that, and the intention with the feature itself is for the command module to not be a critical part. Clearly for gameplay purposes, right? Because you don't want a very big, durable ship like the Ironclad should be being able to get shot down by whoever with. The command module being destroyed in like very, very few shots because clearly the size difference is enormous, right? So yeah, the damage is going to be passed on to the ship of the Ironclad specifically, or the Caterpillar, depending on which one you're attached to. And all the damage to the component itself will be passed to the Ironclad as well. So everything inside the command module will be in a dormant state, so to say. So yeah, basically the damage is going to be passed on to the main body.
does that allow you to, when it does detach, have a suitable
exactly, a suitable route that you can immediately go away and flee from it. The cool stuff is that you can also trigger the self-destruction and then leave the ship and then flew out the command module. So I found with that.
Oh no, you're stealing my goods.
So the short answer is that damage is supposed to be passed on to the main hull, and it's just not at the moment. So it'll be addressed.
As soon as possible. I think we already have a fix in live for the hotfix, but as always, tentative fixes.
There should be a new series of fixes going out on Tuesday of next week that address a couple other things with the item recovery stuff. So if we can, we'll loop that in there and stuff like that. So that should be better for people before events come.
It is clearly the intended gameplay dynamics that we want to reach because clearly we don't want you to lose the ship, especially with the item recovery patch as well.
Talk to me about balancing the ironclad. It's you know every obviously you don't want to just make the same ship across 200, and you want to avoid making the the super crazy Superman ship every single time. What does the ironclad have going for it that other cargo ships don't?
So we have a couple of things that are interesting, I would say specifically. One of them being clearly the durability. It's meant to be a very durable cargo ship with very capable SCU cargo capacities. And for that reason, since we at some point we're gonna have for all the ships in our roster the cargo HUD match the ship, we also need to make sure that the flight profile handles fine, and you can carry the cargo inside the planets or outside of the moon, and so on and so forth. And one of the trickiest things for us on the balance side for the Ironclad has been trying to find a sweet spot without compromising the overall balance performances, in order to still let you be able to lift off and with the full cargo hold. Because on the Ironclad specifically, if you had cargo on your cargo grid, the mass of the ship will change, and the flight maneuverability will change as well. So one of them was basically tuning the VTOL thrusters and activate them in a way that basically you can still lift off with a full cargo bay, loaded with all goods that you can have, but all in VTOL mode. So like when you're fully loaded, you have to use VTOLs, take off, go into your go outside of the hangar, go outside of the planet, and then you can switch them off.
Gotcha. And so those are some strengths. What are the trade-offs? Why would somebody not want an Ironclad?
Well, clearly one of the trade-offs, as we mentioned, is the maneuverability. It's not a very maneuverable ship. It's somewhat of a brick. Most of you might say
it's absolutely a brick.
It's absolutely a brick.
That's how we started the model.
Yeah.
Just one large brick in the shoebox.
It was a box. So yeah, this is probably one of the main, one of the main drawdown of the ship, which for a cargo ship can be quite severe, because whenever you enter into maybe a dangerous area or you get attacked by pirates, clearly you maybe want that maneuverability and speed to kind of get yourself out of it, since you cannot outmaneuver those bad guys, right?
I suppose that's where that increased durability.
Yeah, exactly. Also, clearly the components on the ships, on the shields are quite beefy as well, because they are size 3, right? Yeah. So you have capabilities to defend yourself, and to let your turret gunners try to defend you as well. But clearly you cannot escape that easily, so you have to deal with it and somewhat fight.
So there's a number of questions about the lighting in the ships. Apparently there's some issues with the...
There is some issues with them. Drives me crazy. I love it when the first time people see ships, all the lighting's broken. It's brilliant.
I know, that's why we do it.
What do you want to say about the broken lighting, Ben?
It's broken. it should be being fixed.
Okay.
Yeah. It infuriates me as much, if not more, than everyone else.
So you're saying it's not a design intent, it is like something...
There is design intent in there, in terms of...
it's supposed to be different.
Yeah, we lit the Ironclad to be quite moody. I think one of the issues is, it's starting in emergency mode, so it's lots of flashing red, which is absolutely not the intent, not what we plan for, unless your ship is in emergency state. There's lots of light panels around the ship to be able to kind of put it back to how it should be. Unfortunately, that isn't a particularly user-friendly way of getting your ship to look how it was intended to. But yeah, there's a bug. It's one of those things. Unfortunately, it didn't make the cut for 4.8, but it should be getting fixed.
I love having
the Ironclad.
No,
it's something we're fighting with across.
Yeah, it's every ship.
Hold on. Jassel Newpar says, dude is infuriated that we're pointing out broken stuff on a ship people actually pay money for. That's classy. He's infuriated that it's broke.
Yeah.
Not infuriated that you're pointing it out. He's having the same reaction to it you are, Jasper. These guys work hard. These guys work hard to make these ships as good as they can be. And unfortunately, as the nature of running a live environment in the middle of your development, sometimes things don't work. I mean, folks are asking. Obviously, let's use this opportunity to talk about the mission system. Why not? We were going to do it at some point. The mission system is having some trouble. You obviously don't need me to tell you that if you've tried to jump in. They're working on a hot fix to fix that right now. The patch that we mentioned that's supposed to be going out next Tuesday is not for hot fixes. That's an actual legitimate build and a patch. The hotfix for the emission system that will hopefully restore what's happening there, I don't have any more details about specifics, will go out as soon as somebody decides that it's ready to go out. But hotfixes, patches, different. There's also another question in there about why we release things in such states. And every time that question comes up quite often, and I go back to 2017 and the wait for 3.0, when we didn't have any new content for like 9 months because we waited and waited and waited and tried to get everything done, tried to get everything perfect, tried to get everything dialed in, and there was no new content for 9 months. I had that stupid beard because I said I wasn't going to shave until the patch came out.
I feel attacked.
That's not a.
Please don't remember that. Please
Lovely on you.
perish the thought.
Lovely on you. Mine was all great. I look like a homeless person. But it's
You look like
and
a
even with all
bum,
that work and even with
Garrett,
all that
back
waiting,
then.
it still had its issues. And the answer is there's no such thing as waiting until something's perfect. There's just not. So we put things out in the best condition that we can, and we continue to fix and we continue to push and we continue to develop afterwards, which is what the folks working on the hotfix for the mission system are doing right now, which is what you're doing with fixing the damage pass-through for the Ironclad.
And our friends from CGP4 as well.
Yep.
Shout out to them.
So, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the Ironclad Assault, which is mostly, it's pretty similar. What's the differences between the Ironclad and the Ironclad Assault?
It's got more guns, is one of the big ones. It has a larger front door. So this was, again, something from the concept time. There was an intentional difference that the Ironclad Assault is designed for assault. So it's got a big enough front door on it that can fit tanks and ballistas, which the base Ironclad can't. That can only really fit rover-sized vehicles. It trades off some cargo capacity, so it's 1,500 odd, which is actually, I think, pretty much what the original Ironclad concept had. So they both had a glow up.
I think it's technically 14 something. I can't remember. I've been staring at stat sheets for so
I look
long.
at so many numbers.
But its big thing is it's now got the service bay.
Yes, the services bay, which is located in the rear third, which Will is handily looking at here.
Yeah, the floor texture changes.
Denoted by the floor texture difference and the half gantries above is like a.
And in an upgrade from the original concept, the concept was only supposed to be able to service ground vehicles.
It's now just anything that can fit in the zone.
Yeah, you can fit it in the volume, then it will allow you to do it. And if you obviously have the supplies on board.
Yeah.
You need to have the supplies on board.
The ship hangar services is probably one of my favorite features that have come online with 4.8, because now you see all the people that do the crazy fleet operations and stuff, and now being able to being able to actually repair, refuel, and rearm on the go gives tremendous utility to things like the Idris, beyond just hey, I'm a railgunner. And even things like the 890 jump, it's and stuff. 890 jump, the 600i stuff, and as those continue to progress, they'll get more utility. The vehicle services thing, it's repair, refuel, rearm. You need RMC to do the repairs.
Yeah.
You need
The appropriate
fuel commodities.
fuel and commodities and ammo and countermeasures.
And the ammo stuff is new for 4.8, like actually having commodities that you can store.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. So you can check that, and then it's got the additional remote turrets.
Yeah. And some of them are upgunned to quad mounts instead of dual mounts as well.
It's got the jump seats at the front as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's got a lot of jump seats. There was a question in chat about why so many jump seats.
Because
The
people get
assault
knocked
variant.
around when you're going into atmosphere, to be blunt. It was somewhere so that you don't have to sit inside your tank while you actually land, and you can go sit in jump seats and not get thrown over.
Yeah, I think the question I saw was why so many jump seats if the crew is only for 6, and the answer is it's not for the crew, it's for the people you're transporting.
Yeah, it's for your guests.
There was a question in here, Ben. They asked if you mixed up the paints. The paint for the suggestion was the paint for the Assault looks very industrial,
Oh, okay.
and the paint for the industrial one looks.
No, I think a giant bumblebee is quite an aggressive thing for the assault. I think it's got a bit of a sting to it, isn't it?
The B ship was something else.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, we liked it.
Yeah, no, it's great looking. For folks asking about the paints and stuff that are not showing up in game, yes, there is a separate issue. Basically, without going into too many details, we have crushed our concurrency records for this patch. The last 24 hours have seen a concurrency the likes of which Star Citizen has not seen before, and that's slowing down a number of systems. One, the mission system, and two, the ability for the entitlements to actually filter into the game. They are working on that. They are attributing more resources. The stuff that you, the paints and stuff that you purchase in the store will show up in the game. They're not lost or anything like that. It's all slow right now because there's just a lot of people knocking on the authentication and knocking on the entitlements right now. But they're working on it. Which is also why it's something else. Let's just do a couple things. Let's get it out of the way. The free fly. You may have seen some notifications about the free fly that was supposed to start today. We are not going to start the free fly today for no other reason than it would be wildly irresponsible of us to do it. Sure, we'd love the influx of people. Sure, we'd love the influx of, it can only help the bottom line, but it's a terrible experience for our existing, Star Citizen player base. So we are not going to start the free fly until the mission system cools down and we feel better about the experience for the existing players. And yeah, there's probably a more elegant way of saying that, but I figure I'd just lay it out straight. We're just not going to do it until we feel like it's a good experience for everybody here. All right. So Ironclad Assault. Let's take a look at the Pip-Bowl. The Pip-Bowl was a nice little surprise.
Which looks adorable,
Is
by the way.
Is this just a Drake Fury? Is that where we started with?
Pretty
Drake
much, yeah.
Fury.
So one of the very common questions I get at Bar Citizens a lot is, I love ship X, but I hate manufacturer X.
Right.
And as we've talked about many times, we have our big ship matrix of sizes and roles, and we always want to fill everything, and then within that have options. And the Pip-Bowl is just a great Fury alternative. One of the hard design requirements I set from the start for it was it must not exceed the bounds of the Fury. So that presented some challenges because the Fury, which Dan worked on, was a challenge for fitting stuff in. And
wanting more guns on it didn't make it easier.
Adding more guns and missiles to it.
It's got 6 guns. What is it? A 4 size 1, 2 size 2?
Yeah. So
and then it's got missiles.
And it's got a load of missiles.
So talk to me about this decision. You're going to add 6 guns and missiles to this. Do any of you have any conscience whatsoever?
The only problem is we couldn't fit more.
Do you have any conscience whatsoever?
Like, physically, there isn't space to fit more and make it still fit inside the Fury's bounding boxes.
Yeah, I think there was a line I wrote for the copy on the website. It was more guns than common sense. Or it has more guns than sense. I don't remember if it actually made it to the live.
There's going to be a massive
Wish it
write-up
had.
on Reddit explaining all the different places we could put a gun.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Oh yeah.
I'll take inspiration for it for if we ever make a variant of it.
It's sort of got what's the helicopter that it reminds me of?
Hind.
Hind? Is it a Hind helicopter? It sort of reminds
had
me
a lot
of.
of Hind
Yeah,
references.
we had a bit of that in the kind of original concept, didn't we, with the Hind references.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it was one of Sam's, wasn't it? So
Yep.
yeah.
Talk to us about that concept. You're just sitting quietly there, blocking the hole in the screen.
Like we've been told a couple of times, more than a couple of times, I'm afraid, to make it less cute.
Come on in here.
Because it was
Come on in. No, no.
really, really
Slide your chair up. Slide your
It's
chair.
like he's
Bring your
going
chair
to
up.
the teacher's
Just come and join me. Come and join me. We're not standing on ceremony here.
we tried to make it as small as possible, as Sam did, obviously. So
Sam Burrito.
just
Let's call him Sam Burrito.
Yes, San Burrito.
Concept art.
and we had to make a proper effort to change the aesthetic in order to be less cutie and more pitbull and less pug, I guess.
It didn't work very well. It's very cute.
Well, you didn't see the other concept.
Its concept
Yeah.
were
The other one
really
had like
cute.
really big eyes.
Oh,
One of them had like floppy ears and stuff. Not even exaggerating, there were parts of it that looked like they were floppy
It's,
ears.
it's when Chris first saw it and he just sent me a Minions gif, and I'm like,
Yes?
I don't know how to take this. Is this a good thing or is this a bad thing? And then we got to the bottom of what he was after, and yeah, adapted it, and I think it turned out great.
Oh, I think it's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's super Drake. Like, I think one of my favourite bits is just the size of the engine. Like,
the engine's sick.
engine versus overall dimensions is perfect for it, which is I think why it's quite so
80-20.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the keys of the aesthetic that we wanted for the ship was that you're not riding a ship, you're riding an engine.
With guns.
With guns
You just
attached.
stuck a bunch of guns to an engine.
I
And a
can't
seat.
believe we're
And a
already
seat,
30
Your
minutes
retro
in.
test, you just fire it all and just break.
Okay.
This time round.
This-
Red Hood 87 says, in the current meta, why even put 1 to 2 repeaters on something when they don't do any damage to basically any ships?
Well, our balance tuning will be revisited in the future, but in general,
The
this
Pit
is
Bull's more of a
the deal, right?
ground
Like,
assault
we
ship.
want those little snub
Wonder if
ships
you
to
could
be a
put
threat to
bombs on.
smaller craft like the Gladius, for example, and not a threat for something bigger. And yeah, exactly
Like
mostly
bomb
everything else
racks?
on this
That'd
table.
be fun.
So the question is more where you should try to imply those ships and why you should use them for. Because clearly, on the other side, yes, you might say the gun size is a bit low.
That'd be a
but
good
the
question.
performances instead are
Like,
outstanding.
what all
'cause,
can
like
you
the
equip it?
overall forward thrust ratio is very good. Maneuverability, the rates of rotation are amazing. The handling also as well. It's very reactive. So yeah, you might have less powerful guns, but if you want to, for example, let's say maybe storm a couple of fighters and fight them, then probably it's a good tool to do that. Clearly, there are downsides on the durability and Drake and everything else.
But also, the guns are swappable. You can change the guns out.
Yeah, you can use ballistic as well, but you know we now have with the armor system some damage threshold that you need to meet in order to apply any damage, right?
Sure, but that's still subject to change.
Yeah,
Being
it is
worked
subject to
on.
change.
We do have
And
future
also,
plans for
yes,
it, but
and also like
it's-
nothing prevents you to go out in a group and use other different type of ships to bring down the armor and then use other ship that has less powerful gun to then apply damage as well.
Plus, it's bringing the right tool for the job.
Exactly.
The ship isn't designed to take on Polarises and Idrises. Well, it's not.
What is designed to take on a Polaris? Because I'd love.
If only we had a ship we could talk about.
Shame.
Yeah, but there's again we run into the same thing that everybody's going to want their ship to do what they want. It's like this, and the reality is they're all designed to do different things. Some are designed to work in swarms.
Yep.
Like the Pit Bull and whatnot. Others are just supposed to be the best ship ever until somebody puts the wrong guns on it.
No,
What about?
What's wrong with the guns?
no.
Well, we made the better ones, remember?
Oh.
It's got its new guns. It's got its new guns at DefenseCon now.
Yeah, do we like the new guns more? Is that-
We like the new guns
Oh,
more.
cool.
We like the new guns.
That's good because you made them.
No, I made both, so it's fine. Yeah.
That ship was a mistake, Jared.
You're right. I made every ship.
Meteor?
I did.
Are you
actually-
kidding?
I know you did.
That ship was a freaking
Question for
mistake.
Dan: can I move a door frame 3 centimeters in the nose of the ironclad?
Oh, that'd be Joe.
Joe,
That'd be Joe. Yeah,
Not
there's
anymore.
one of our door frames is like off by 3 centimeters, and he's showing it me, and he's like, "Can I fix it?" And I just went, "No," because the ship was like ready to go. I don't think anyone spotted it yet, but no,
You
no,
are
Joe.
right.
That's the
Reddit
camera.
posts
Joe-
looking for that.
No, not until it's posted on Reddit, and you link me the Reddit post. So there you go. Go find your
Oh, he can't make the post either.
Yeah. Joe has to link me the post. People on Reddit have to find the 3 centimeter door gap.
And Will can't make the post.
Yeah.
Ah, damn.
IC3 Dude 31 uses his first time chat to say, "I want poop gameplay." Chris, what's your response?
That was a
Wow,
first-time chat.
that's a hell of a way to put me on the spot. Can I say no?
I mean, you did add the bucket.
I did add the bucket. The Shiv bucket is
Star
mine.
Citizen community does not fail to
Oh, are you responsible for
disappoint.
the Shiv?
I am responsible for the Shiv bucket, and I only mildly regret it.
What bit of it do you regret?
Never fail to
you tell me?
disappoint,
Most of it.
community.
That's nice. That's a good feature.
Yeah, it was one of those cases where we wanted to reuse this area, and Cutlass owners as a whole bemoan the fact that they don't have a
They
bathroom.
had their opportunity. A poll went up, and they voted for the Crusader shuttle, not the toilet.
So this is our consolation prize to all Cutlass owners. There's your bathroom.
That's so Drake.
As far as like where toilet gameplay is coming, dude, you're talking to the wrong man. I have no idea.
I just want to see what you do.
We do put a lot of bathrooms in, don't we?
Sometimes with the wrong amount of taps.
Yeah, we've got 2 on the ironclad on each of them.
So it's correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Not
It's fine.
two bottles of water.
Wait. We have some 2-tap people at this table?
We are all
This is
Everyone's.
all of
This is the 2-tap table.
Calm down.
Oh,
calm down.
no, it is not. This is not a 2-tap table.
Here we go.
This is my table, son. This is
It's
a
okay.
1-tap table.
The table's made out of parts.
It's
We
split,
can
yeah.
just
move you away.
Are you all 2-tap people?
I think
Yep.
so. In,
Could be. I guess
in
the
this-
Italians aren't, I guess. So.
Never seen a 2-tap.
You've never seen 2-tap. You have to come around my house, lad. You can see that.
Bunch
Bring
of people
paintbrush.
online
Yeah.
this morning. Good morning, everyone. Here are we.
So, love the bomb racks on the. Oh, it's right. I love the bomb racks on the tally, but we need a ripple selector to allow for actual carpet bombing.
That's gonna be
That sounds
fun.
like a feature request.
Yeah,
yeah, for
yeah.
sure. Nice.
It's,
Put it in
it's sort of, there's a limitation at the moment. It's not really a limitation, that there's a max number you can queue up of your ordnance. And
Quite high though, isn't it?
it can be, so it defaults to 4. We can do overrides per ship to give larger amounts.
How we doing over
It
on
also
YouTube,
applies to
chat?
missiles as well. So in the Retirators example, if we increase the base one to be, I think you can fit like 100 in of the size 3 bombs in it. If we increase it to that, you
All
could
your
fire
torpedoes.
all your torpedoes all in one go.
I'm not hearing a downside.
I thought
Well, the issue is the animations on the rack would also all try to play simultaneously.
Yeah.
Doesn't it take time to like
Yeah.
load them all up?
It does
Not
take
if you
time.
queued them all.
You have to spend the time queuing them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
got like
Fully
an auto
aware,
clicker.
Spirit A1 owners are very mad about not being able to carpet bomb still.
So final words on the what is it called? The pit bull, or if you look at the one map inside the show hall, the P-bull.
I do think while we
I wonder if that was on purpose, because mostly
It was
internally
not
we've
on
been calling it
purpose.
the Pibble.
Well, we had that. There was that. You couldn't update the TIFFs. There was that bug that the last 2 days before release,
Yep.
we're trying desperately to update the TIFF file, and they kept doing it. You want to talk about? Hey, well, whenever we do a big,
Move on. Just get on.
Line them up, that's fine. Let's get them going. Pull the string.
so whenever we do a big show like this, there's invariably a whole bunch of questions about why didn't you fix this before you released this and stuff like that. There are.
You're
now,
don't quit
never
your day
different.
job,
You know,
buddy.
I've been at this for a long time now, and the short answer is you just can't. These aren't the guys that work on performance and stuff, and their work doesn't get held up by somebody else's work and stuff like that. Not if you can help it anyway. Sometimes it does, but sometimes it just takes. Sometimes it is so ridiculous how to where these bugs come from and how to fix them. For the last 2 days, this isn't a terrible bug. But for the 2 days before release, we couldn't update the TIFF files. Like we'd submit a new TIFF and it just wouldn't update. That's why there's a map in the show hall that says the Drake P-Bowl right now. And we're all just looking at it going, we seriously can't fix the Drake P-Bowl on a map? We know it's there, we can't fix that. It's like, no, there's other more important things to deal with right now.
I think also
There's other more important things.
it's like Groundhog Day as well, because we were the same one. There's a paint that's gone out. The thumbnail's slightly wrong on it, and you update it, submit it, come in the next day. It's still broken, and you check, and all the work's been done. It's just that Groundhog Day moment of, and then you realise that it's not actually our fault, and
It's all triage. It's you do the best you can. You try to get as much as you can, but at the end of the day, it's the only alternative is 2017 and 3.0, and you end up with nothing out for 9 months. And we swore after that we would never do that again. So, all right. So that's the Drake Pitbull. You like it?
Yeah, I love it.
Cool. All right.
signed off. Let's go.
Done.
Next one.
That's the end of that conversation.
Next ship.
So
Contribution here.
up next, let's look at a ship that releases tomorrow. So this will be many people's first look at the upcoming Origin M80. So before we switch
M80.
to, oh no, we're going to
Here
do
we
it now. There it
go.
goes.
You're eager, Will. You're eager.
Sorry. So before we switch to the M80, what is it? Let's set this up.
So the M80 is Origin's sort of debut into like dedicated combat ships, and it's a heavy fighter.
And and when was the last time we did an Origin ship? It's like
400i.
400i.
X1s.
No,
Oh,
so
X1s, yeah.
400i is the last new
Yeah.
one. The X1 is the last release.
Yeah, but the last new
Can't
Origin
find it.
was the 400i,
Yeah.
and that was
2019.
that was before the
When-
Been a while.
It was like 2022.
I
or
remember we
something.
teased it for a very long
No,
time.
it was during the pandemics. We
during-
recorded the CitizenCon
Hey,
404
Red.
video.
No,
What's
it
up,
wasn't. It was the
man?
404. It was the spaceship not found. It was the first April Fool's.
Okay.
It was 2021 or 2020.
I think it's 2022 because it was like a ship.
Chat,
that was
help
done
us.
Just before it.
Chat, yeah, why are we asking like, everyone?
2021.
There you go.
Somebody in there was like, I can't believe they don't remember when they released the 400i. We make a lot of spaceships, folks. So yeah, we haven't touched Origin in so long. How exciting was it to come back and actually resurrect this brand that we haven't touched in so long?
Artists?
Okay, you talk to me. Yeah. I think it was kind of a double-sided really, because it was not only was it an Origin ship that we haven't done in ages. I mean, I've not been involved in like an Origin start to finish new concept at all since looking after the ship team.
Oh yeah.
I was on it with the 400 Life production, but not in terms of like the concept side. So we had new manufacturer, or not a new manufacturer to us to play with, but also it's their kind of debut into pure combat.
Yeah.
So that was also something else we could do. So we looked at it, and I've been obviously paying attention to what people's reaction has been and stuff. And some people have called out like, oh, this doesn't feel quite that Origin, this bit doesn't feel quite that Origin. But it was a chance to kind of look at the manufacturer kind of with fresh eyes.
Yeah.
It's a new role. It's where we want to take it. Are we do we want to stick to the same old that we've done for all the kind of like more commercial stuff, or do we actually want to push the limits a little bit? You look at a lot of kind of real world manufacturers of cars, and don't get me wrong, some do really cool things, and then others do interesting things. And I think you can. It's our chance to kind of just inject a little bit new life into the manufacturer.
Well, let's take a look. So this is the Origin 404. No, I went back to the old guy. The Origin, what is it called? M80.
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 The matey.
And this is a heavy fighter. And let's take a look at the exterior here. Talk to me about what we're looking at.
We saw its party piece. I think one of the things with it being Origin is we wanted to make sure that we kind of kept it super sleek and kind of made sure that it has those kind of really nice kind of like flowing Origin lines. But obviously we didn't want to sacrifice functionality. And that's why, when you kind of power the weapons on or off, you do have that big deploy. And I know, when people were first looking at it, there was a lot of discussion over weapon sizes and whether or not it was undergunned or whether or not it was overgunned and everything. And then slowly a couple of people started to guess that, hang on a minute, there's some seams in these panels here.
Almost like we planned it.
Yeah, and I think it kind of shows that it's got some bite to it.
So what are our inspirations here? What were we
Cool.
thinking when we designed this?
So Jacob Lippold designed this
Good
one
looking
in
ship.
the concept phase, and
I'll admit.
anyone who knows him knows that he's obsessed with planes.
Good
and you
looking
can tell.
ship.
There is a strong contrast between the soft lines of the front and the strong lines of the rear. There is a strong contrast between the color as well. There is a lot of lines flowing into each other's, looping and reconnecting, typical of Origin. So it maintained that DNA, also evolving the tail in something that is exactly like the 100.
Not my cup of tea, but
just sleeker.
sure it is
So
for
there is a
somebody
lot coming
else.
from the aeronautics side. I'm thinking of like the Rafale, F-35s, some Russian planes, and a lot coming from the automotive design world. So smooth transitions, very sleek German-Italian designs.
Right, because Origin in the lore is actually from Germany. It's Cologne, Germany, actually, if I remember that correctly. Is it possible to raise the landing gear and see what it looks like in flight mode?
Yep.
So that's one thing folks haven't seen yet. The preview images we put on social had the landing gear down. I noticed the landing gear is wheels. Origin sticking with the wheeled landing gear. I'm assuming somebody in chat is asking when ships will roll on the landing gear. Anything we can tell people about that?
Nothing beyond it is something we still want to do.
Yep. But we're not abandoning the idea of wheel landing gear. Texting now this is where it really starts to shine. Get a little lower if you don't mind. Yeah, look at that thing without the landing gear. It's like, that is a good looking ship.
That's insane.
Yeah,
that. I've
it's
never actually
sleek.
looked
It
at from the
doesn't
bottom.
look Origin.
That's so
It's like
good.
I always
something
look at
else.
the bottom first.
There it is.
Yeah, there is so much parallax in the engines. There are so many.
The
lines
problem
that
is
are
it
absolutely
doesn't look
intentional. Everything
Origin.
connects into each other.
Like
It's
some other company.
so masterfully designed.
Can we bring the weapons out again?
I remember, like, you know how the weapons come out from the side here? I remember seeing someone mention that they thought it might have been like a side ramp. So they were close.
Looks
they-
like
they
a
spotted the seams,
subsidiary of
you
Origin.
You guys,
Oh, I
you guys
love
have got,
that.
you get given like one tiny image on Twitter, and you're able to work out that something's coming out of
I
that.
am terrified of them.
Backers, yeah, they work anytime, aren't they?
So what kind of performance we talking about here, Mateo?
Well,
And the weapons
Heavy
deployed
fighter,
from
but not all heavy
design.
it is
fighters
an heavy
are-
fighter, but it's very sleek, looks very, very fast. So it's actually, we thought from the get-go, to be fair, with Georgi, our other designer on the team, that the interceptor role would have been perfect for this type of ship. So basically, I guess, yeah, you could expect this M80 to kind of go against up the Scorpius in terms of performances. They're quite similar role and similar with similar capabilities, with differences in between the two, of course. But yeah, this is pretty much what you can expect. So very, very fast, straight line speeds. It's not the best in terms of rates and rotation and handling, but it's very fast. And especially with the speed that you can reach under boost regime, that is going to like help you a lot, especially like in group fights. It's going to be very, very interesting. As so far, like the Scorpius, we know nowadays is one of the best heavy fighters that we have in the lineup in terms of balancing and tuning and feel. And we think with the M80 was a good opportunity to kind of try to dive more into this type of tunings and into this type of experience specifically to make it shine as well.
So within the heavy fighter genre, there are individual tunings within. This is
Yes.
the interceptor tuning
Yeah.
within heavy fighters.
Yes. So basically, like what we intend in
Get
terms of,
what?
like interceptor tuning is
Luke
basically we're trading up
Lucrative? What are you
speed
talking about?
and
Get
as well,
what?
we're trading agility and maneuverability over
Broadcast?
forward accelerations and speed, basically. So you can be faster. You're basically more a boom and zoomers / energy fighting type of style. And this is what the M80 is.
Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look inside. Now, one of the more interesting things, can we use the door? Do we have the option to go in through the...
Not right now, unfortunately.
Oh, the door's broken? Inner?
The animation.
It's just
is-
screw in editor mode. We're not
Oh,
game
it's
mode.
because the editor. All right, because we're not in camera. So it does. We did something really cool where the bottom of the ship is actually also the door.
Yeah, that's one of the kind of like the nods back to the 400i, where you have this kind of ramp that comes in, or staircase, I should say, that comes in from underneath the ship. It was kind of like a conscious decision of how we're gonna get this thing. And obviously,
Okay. Yeah,
you know,
this
you-
is
you can
Star
go kind of
Citizen
classic
Live.
fighter mode and
I'm
go to
just
cockpit and then
watching
have to
it,
climb out back into the
broadcasting
kind
it
of
for
interior.
everyone.
But we just felt that this kind of was a bit of
The
a
M80, I
to-
think, is in a
And
few
what are the
days,
amenities in
right?
here? It's got a
Correct?
bed. It's got
It's got a bed. It's got weapon racks. It's got access to all your components. We
I think
wanted
the
it to,
M80's in a few days. When is
kind of
Origin Day?
keep
You
its origin
remember
kind of
on the
DNA,
calendar?
but be in a heavy fighter. And so, one of the things that is helpful is having kind of easy access to all your components. So we kind of prioritized that that kind of functionality as the kind of like the main thing that we really wanted on the interior of the ship, and then obviously being able to kind of stow your weapons and.
I think
have
it's
some storage
it's
and that
not
sort of stuff.
rentable
It wasn't meant to
either
be
yet,
like
is
an
it?
Explorer or anything like that. It was supposed to be combat focused.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of space so you can keep general boxes from utility missions, so like the small ones that you gather, now obviously for SU. Standard weapon racks, a little bit of personal storage. The core components to keep the ship actually running are all inside, so you don't have to go outside if they get damaged.
It's
so
a
you keep them
beautiful
from the
ship inside.
But obviously there's not enough space for all the components on the inside, so
I'll admit.
the less critical ones for being able to actually operate the ship are outside the ship.
so.
I will admit,
Will
it's a
Origin
beautiful
ships in the
ship.
future follow a similar design to the M80? Says somebody whose name I'm not going to say out loud.
I think it really depends on the role and depends on what we want to do with it. I think obviously we want an Origin ship to feel like an Origin ship, and I think that's kind of key to it. And I think you see this lineup, or you see this vehicle kind of lined up against the other. You can see the high end, the DNA from it, and that's what we want to kind of keep. It really depends on the role of the ship. If we do more fighters, we might take similar inspirations. If we do more commercial ships, we might not. I think in the more kind of
Yeah,
commercial
it's on
stuff, we looked at
Twitch.
a lot of I think
Hang on.
like
Luxury
yachts,
hotels,
luxury
spas.
yachts, that side of things. Whereas obviously
It looks better in game than the teaser poster.
personally,
No
yacht doesn't
worries,
feel very combat-y.
lucrative.
So I
Let me
think,
see.
There's a lot of
It's on
range within
Twitch,
our manufacturers to.
I don't know if YouTube will let me
experiment with
share it
visuals, and I think that's
through.
kind of one of the nice things of the game that we work
You know
on,
how
is that
YouTube
we are able
is
to kind of,
sometimes,
try new
unfortunately.
ideas and experiment with new kind of visual ideas.
Let me
It's combined
try
two
it.
different DNAs. So you've got
I can
the
try.
Origin DNA, which Origin has its own identity, but you wouldn't expect a
07.
industrial Origin ship or a
Just
combat
look for
Origin
the
ship to
Star
look the same. I'd
Citizen
expect them to be completely
channel
different, and it's
on
this is
Twitch.
one
You'll
of our
find
first
it.
times been doing very dedicated combat focused, like completely only combat focused Origin ship, and it has a little bit difference, but it's the same way that a combat Drake ship is a bit different from a combat.
I mean, the 325 is a combat ship, but it's a variant of an existing line. So there's only
Exactly.
so much you can do with a variant.
Same
Exactly.
with 125 and
Yeah.
the M50 has that split of
Yeah.
interceptor and racer.
Hey, no
But
worries.
it's
I'm
the-
happy
it's
to
a
help.
True,
Yeah.
You're good,
This is a
man.
just a
complete
dedicated
standalone
fighter
new
as is.
chassis. So.
You see it
You're
in
all
real life
good.
automotive manufacturing and aeronautic manufacturing as well, that like even though Boeing makes planes, right, but they also make helicopters, and Rolls-Royce makes engines, not just
Oh yeah.
like the
Mitsubishi make air
Oh,
conditioning.
Yeah,
Mitsubishi
exactly, yeah,
makes
it's-
everything. Mitsubishi
yeah.
is my go-to every time.
I think they make our lift.
I need a product.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're touching on one of my biggest pet peeves here. When people are like, that doesn't look like X manufacturer or Y manufacturer wouldn't do that. I always go to Mitsubishi. About that. This is the same company
Look
that
at the
makes
Hilux
tanks,
versus the Supra.
Yeah.
Right, like
refrigerators, tanks,
Lifts.
elevators.
I do think it's important to keep like some kind of core DNA. Like when there's a BMW really right behind you, it's a BMW. But like because it's right behind. But there's always like these core parts of the DNA of like the manufacturer, which I think Alberto touched on it perfectly when he was doing like the first fly around about how Origin.
By
always,
the
like,
way,
reconnects the lines back
hey
around
Rufus,
and,
how
like,
are you
it's that
doing?
core art direction can be applied to other contexts.
Yeah, there's core rules, isn't there?
Yeah.
And then there's areas to kind of flex those rules. a
But
bit.
even then, even brands evolve over time. I mean, in the fiction of our universe, some of these ships, like the like the Idris and the Javelin,
Look at
are
the
hundreds
RSI.
of years
Yeah.
old.
The RSIs
So
are-
so why would an Aegis ship today look anything like an Idris that was designed 200 years ago and stuff? They got new people. They come in with new ideas, new technologies, stuff like this.
The Zeus Mark 1 versus the Zeus Mark 2 is like
Yep.
probably the most clear example that the players will be familiar with.
I mean, technically, the Connie folks are flying right now as the Mark IV, and you saw that change from the Mark III, back in the day. It's these RSI is a great one. You look at how the
Aurora.
RSI, the new Aurora and stuff. It's not that the old ones never happened or whatever. It's that these things evolve. Over
And then within RSI as well, you have like if you look at like the Polaris, it's like the more military centered, whereas like if you look at things like the Apollo, it's a little bit more cleaner and like not military, right?
Look at the Connie as well, like the Phoenix. They're very different
Yeah,
DNA,
yeah.
but at the same time, they're both very obviously RSI.
Yeah.
Belladrim had a question here. It says, for Matea, he goes, if you say it competes against the Scorpius, which is multi-crew, while this is solo, how do you keep the ship from being overpowered?
Well, as the most veteran pilot can attest.
I wonder
the
if they're
skeleton
gonna
of Scorpio
talk
is
about
actually
the
a plus
Odin.
and not
Yeah.
a minus. So the fact of that being
Probably
multi-crew is
not,
a downside
but
at all.
we'll see.
So I don't
That'd
see
be
specifically here
amazing
in this context
if they
any,
show off the Odin.
any problem in terms of balancing. To be honest, they're just going to be two different ships with different tools. They are covering the same role. One is going to shine on maybe certain tasks, the other one on others. So I'm positive that on the balance side, it's going to be fine. It's going to be quite interesting seeing what people will prefer to go out and fight other people.
Someone is asking if the M80 has stealth features. I mean,
Health
a lot of them.
features.
Turn off your signal, go down rapidly.
Very stealthy.
Well, there's a lot of
Yes,
folks
it has
who
stealth
have watched that
features.
movie. See kind of a shared lineage with stuff. I thought well, the first time I saw it, I thought it was more akin to the fighter at the beginning of Top Gun Maverick, and what there's
The Dark
inspirations
Star.
everywhere.
Oh,
folks
yeah.
are asking about
Dark
the stealth stuff.
Star.
Of course, you can replace the components with stealth grade components and stuff. There'll be tunings. that
Yeah,
you
it
do.
does
And then, of
look
course,
like the
crafting,
Dark Star,
there's the
doesn't
stealth
it,
grade
Chad?
components, and then there's the crafted stealth grade components and stuff. And you can make
It
quite more
does look
stealthy
like
than-
the Dark Star,
maybe off
but
the line.
maybe
It's
not
not-
completely.
Base designed to be a stealth ship. It has nothing going for it that would force it to be stealth. Obviously, with crafting, with components, you can alter profile of a ship and how it works to a degree.
It's interesting because when it goes back to that question we had earlier about why would you put size 1 and size 2 repeaters in this thing. There's this. I think sometimes there's this concept that the ship that you get off the factory line that's supposed to be it. And no, we're building an MMO here, and a big part of all MMOs is upgrading from your common gear to your uncommon gear to your rare gear to your epic gear to your legendary gear, and being able to do that with not just weapons but all of these components and stuff is how you're able to take these ships from their base configurations and drive them closer to what you want. That's part of the fun in this. We're not supposed to just give you the best version of this ship right off the line.
Well, every single, there are very, very few exceptions, but in almost every component the player gets in the stock ships is a C grade. It's a C. There's A and B to upgrade into. We do that on purpose. It's not that we put the wrong one on. It's always a C grade component.
Yeah,
Because we want that space. We
clearly
want that
there are
progression.
of course boundaries where we think it's acceptable, for you to personalize the ship, because, for example, I don't think we don't want a scenario where you can tweak your people to be an absolute truck. We want the DNA of the ship to stay in certain confined spaces, so to say, but inside those, we want for you to be able to, basically try to achieve whatever you want, and have different playstyles, basically. So if you want, for example, run a stealth build people with no shields and less guns, because you want the surprise factor, then you're free to do it, right? So.
But Drake will never talk to you again.
Yeah, but clearly, you have to be careful on
I
that.
wonder how low its signal will go if you drop the shields off it. It must be tiny.
It must be tiny, yeah.
And what guns come on the M80 again?
2 size 4s, 2 size 5s, and then a bunch of missiles underneath, which not a lot of people talked about. Then they've seen it has lots of size 1 missiles, but there's actually some larger ones that also deploy out the bottom.
Oh, do we have the ability? No. Yeah, Will's shaking his head. We don't have the ability to deploy that.
Just imagine.
We don't have the technology. We can't rebuild it.
We had some technical issues before the show. Oh, the screen's back. Oh, no, it's not. Every time the fire goes, you can see it. You can see it's bad. All right. So, final word on the M80. We happy with it?
I think the team did an insane job, to be honest. It wasn't something that we saw it from the other side of the room, I guess, watching the team tackle that. And
Is this an admittance that you didn't make it?
no, I didn't make it.
We know that's not true.
Yeah.
But a lot of people did an incredible amount of work, and
Yeah, I bet.
looking at it now, it's just insane.
It's fascinating to walk around the office, and in one half of the room, I'm looking at someone trying to make the dingiest, darkest, grubbiest wall they can, while making it look new. And then on the opposite side of the room, seeing someone trying to make something so shiny that you can see your own reflection in it.
I know.
And yet, we're just one company that seems to be able to make all these different styles. If only the brands could do that too.
The biggest.
Going back to my brands can step outside of one thing. That's the biggest point of contention, Ben.
Have we busted the myth that there's no
I
such
think
thing?
Ben can do anything, is what I'm saying. Ben can do anything he wants.
Except get lights working.
He doesn't have to have rules, is what I'm saying. I think you can do whatever you want.
Okay,
Have we
guys.
busted
Yeah.
the myth
What's
that
the
there's
next
no
ship?
Drake team or a
yeah,
side
this-
team, Misk team?
this annoys me as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's
Well,
like,
well, who's on the Drake team now?
It's like the Origin team have been asleep for the last 4
Yeah,
years.
the Origin team. They just went on holiday. We forgot to let them back in.
That's true. I suppose they're not being a new Origin ship since 2021, kind of.
We had to hire a bunch of new people.
That
just
is
to-
sad.
Those guys
There
have been
hasn't
waiting
been
for
a
5
new
years
Origin
on the website
ship
to make a ship.
This is
quite
that's how
some
long the
time.
MA took to make. It was like 5 years of just cooking.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Now, some part of that we caused. There were early ATVs where we made statements like this studio is more focused on this manufacturer and stuff like that. We caused that misconception way back in the day. But yeah, as the project has evolved and stuff like that, it's become much more homogenous.
Yeah.
It's like this. Oh, my computer just crashed. Okay, no more questions. No, I'll reboot it here while we're looking at the next thing. So, from the M80 on which comes out on tomorrow. What day is tomorrow?
Saturday.
Saturday. I like having a guy here. That's easy. That's great.
You can just stay there, bro.
What are you doing on Thursdays?
We can get my laptop.
No longer the Odin.
I do concept art.
Yeah, so that's day 3. On day 5, we introduce another ship that could be considered a surprising addition for DefenseCon. DefenseCon, everybody assumes, the DefenseCon or Invictus, whatever you happen to call it, is always going to be fighting ships and stuff.
Yeah, they do.
Is his phone going?
Yeah.
Is that you or me?
It's me.
All right.
Remind me to take my medication.
No medication.
No medication.
We're
So
working.
let's do this.
All right, we got a timer, guys, and that's the MISC Starlight from. I already said it, MISC. Let's take a look at the.
Okay,
Starlight.
here's the Starlight.
Look at this.
It looks like
This
it's
is
predominantly
the cutest little
a
thing. The first. So,
whole bee.
So I'm gonna pull the curtain back a little bit. There is going to be a trailer for this. It's
Something
magnificent.
combination?
It's
What
one of
do
my
you guys
favorites
think?
we've ever done. Our creative director who makes all of these things, she was already on the tap for a TSG trailer, and you can go and circle around. A TSG trailer, a DefenseCon trailer. There's going to be an M80 trailer tomorrow that's also phenomenal. And doing 3 trailers at the same time.
phenomenal.
Doing three trailers at the same time is already a lot. And then she saw this guy, and she's like, I have to do 4
Star
trailers.
Lancer.
And I'm like, you're going to kill
That's
yourself.
what I'm
like,
thinking.
I don't care. Look how
Whole
adorable
bee
it is.
slash
Look at the
Star
Pixar thing.
Lancer.
But so this is a refueler. Why make a
With
new
some
refueler?
Starfarer stuff on.
Because we need another one. Like the opening into refueling can't be the Starfarer. It's too big. It's too far on through the game progression. We needed something earlier, smaller, just for one person to get out there and start engaging with the gameplay.
Yeah, and as a sort of one of the early design brief parts of this was to have interoperability with the Starfarer, so it reuses the Starfarer fuel pods, and they are quite large. And just having one sort of didn't really
Looks
give
like
you
they're
that
in
much fuel
line,
to do
too.
refueling with. So
Plus, we needed the 2 types
yeah,
of fuel.
and yeah, like you say, we'd need 2, one for if you want quantum and hydrogen. So it becomes quite a large ship for what is essentially a starter in the refueling career, but it does everything the Starfarer does in about a quarter the size.
Yeah, without the ugly ass interior.
Does it confuse
Don?
its occupants trying to find?
How
their way
about
through
that
the interior?
Starfarer
Then you get lost in
interior?
the
Yeah.
Then
Don?
it doesn't do everything the
Doesn't do
Starfarer does.
It's not a multiplayer.
It does all of the refueling gameplay that
Yeah.
the Starfarer does.
I mean, seriously, the
God, I love this shit.
Starfarer needs some serious
It
help.
was. I remember when we first kicked off the
After
concept.
so many
we were
years.
like, okay, let's get the fuel pods in. We're like,
In the volume we had.
where are we going to put the ship? Because they're so big.
But there is a reason it looks so cute and chubby, because there was no space left.
Yeah,
This is a lathe concept.
yeah, it's
right?
like
This is from Lathe, and he had to squash a lot of components, like an entire dashboard, interiors, in a very limited amount of space with these massive refueling ports. So,
and it needed the refueling arm,
yeah,
and
and
yeah,
beetles.
and they needed to be accessible so they could be tracked beamed out. So yeah,
And I wanted a lift.
Yeah, and I wanted a lift. It was one of those things where the requirements were like there was a long list of things that we needed to kind of tick off as we were concepting this, and I think yeah, they kind of smashed it. It looks. Yeah, we talk about recognizable manufacturers.
Oh, more missed than this.
Yeah, like this is MISC through and through. And again, but this does kind of also feed into that argument of, manufacturers evolve. You look at our early MISC concept ships, and they had one style, and over the recent kind of releases, we've tried to kind of like modernize that style a bit, and I think this is kind of really successfully kind of delivered on the MISC kind of DNA. It's cool. I don't like calling ships cute because people shout at me for making
It's the
ships that are too cute.
Moodang of spaceships.
Yeah,
It's the Moodang of spaceships.
The
But-
pipes in there are so good. Like what that is just insane. The amount of attention to detail.
I think what's kind of successful as well is not only is it instantly recognisable as a MISC ship? It instantly recognisable as an industrial, a refueler. Like you kind of know what you're getting straight from the first look.
And it's got a
You
window.
can't not when the pods are taking up what?
Oh yeah,
60%?
exactly. Yeah.
It's got a window that lets you look out at a big fuel tank.
Yep. Make sure no one's stolen your.
Make sure it's still
pods.
there.
Yeah.
No entrepreneur and Drake pilots.
It's this kind of design here function. It's very reminiscent of the Golem, actually, with the whole. It's building a ship around
The feature.
the feature. Is this been a conscious decision of the last
I
year?
think. Well.
It
Yeah.
was the only way.
Yeah, and I think visually we had the Starfarer obviously, and that had its kind of gantries at the back, and there was no way we were fitting that sort of.
It's definitely
that
got
functionality
some
onto
girth
this,
to
and,
it.
it doesn't really need the gantries, but I think
Yep.
we kind of wanted to again bring some of those little nods, those little bits of DNA back into it. So yeah.
Nice girth, yeah.
For your statement earlier, John, where you said it does almost everything the Starfarer does. Does it refine the gas?
It
doesn't.
Doesn't, no.
It doesn't.
So the refueling side, you need
It
to.
does all the refueling.
It does the refueling
It doesn't do
side,
the
yeah.
additional stuff.
This is a refueler,
there was
not
a
a
refiner.
refiner.
There's no space for anything else.
So it doesn't do the refueling and stuff like this. EF Typhoon says, weird how no ships were ever released weaker than anything else. We're literally looking at one. We release starter ships all the time, and every starter ship is weaker than everything because it's a
I've
starter ship.
already forgotten the cutter when it came out.
Yeah. We release weaker ships all the time. It's just not good for somebody's narrative at the moment. Is LAMP working on some of the new ships?
Yes.
No.
MAT,
No, 'cause it's got an interior walking space. Which
but the canopy ejects. I'm pretty sure it works. It
might
worked
on
on
that.
my machine.
So does that mean it's John's fault if it doesn't work in release?
No, it would be mine because I would have gotten to change it to the correct setup.
Oh.
But you can't have done because the canopy ejects.
We can move stuff with now, but it might not be. It might be working.
So it's
I might
Mark's
be wrong.
fault.
Ding ding.
The answer is find out tomorrow.
It is just a case of it. We're not actively choosing not to put LAMP on the new ships. It's just whether
I did a post on Spectrum about it a few weeks back that explain like it's not a we're choosing to ignore LAMP. It's a this is how ships are built. They're built one of two ways, and one way supports out of the box.
And the
other way
feature of
doesn't.
LAMP needs to evolve to the
Yes.
next stage, and then it will apply to everything.
It's another thing that Ben is annoyed by beyond
Yeah.
lighting is
I mean when
lack of LAMP.
when the code side of it works, they're already set up for LAMP. All the setups there, they just don't work.
Yeah, so no fuel harvesting gameplay. Like I said, this is a starter. This is an
It's-
introduction to the refueling.
It has all of the refueling features that the Starfarer has. Doesn't have the other stuff. It's just the refueling side of it.
And a number of new improvements coming to that gameplay. The process of refueling has gotten easier. You no longer have to open your nozzle and stuff like that. And they've added refueling beacons. At the moment, only NPCs come to respond to the beacons, but that'll continue to evolve like any other feature, and to address to push to more and more players and stuff. But it's refueling and medical gameplay are two of the loops that separate Star Citizen from a lot of stuff. I'm going to be real frank. They both need a lot of work. They both need some more
they do.
development. Let's just get that out of the way. But they're loops that aren't for you. It's like everything else. You know, you understand bounty hunting is for you. You get the thrill of the hunt and the kill. Cargo and mining and salvage is for you. You're building your empire and stuff and amassing your fortunes and stuff. No matter all the fighting, all the adventuring, all the industrial, it's all for you. But then there's mining, there's medical, and there's refueling, which is just about helping your fellow citizen. That's really all it is. Nobody's going to get rich making refueling ships. It's just not going to happen. And nobody's going to get rich going out and patching people up who've been done. But it's such an amazing opportunity for Star Citizen gameplay to push beyond the more obvious things into this kind of altruistic thing. And we need to be better at supporting it and to continue developing it, because there's something really special in both of these. And yes, this is the first step in refueling gameplay in almost a decade at this point.
Yeah.
Pretty
So hopefully we
much.
continue to push this. We continue to
I
push this
think.
because things like refueling
Maybe.
and medical are really exciting to me because it's nice to see somebody who's like, you go to a bar citizen like, oh, I'm a medic, and I just play the game to help other people, and I love that. So I'm hoping if we can keep pushing refueling gameplay, I'll start to hear, oh, I'm just a refueler. I just go and I just help people. Yeah.
That's what Alberta does.
Well, we actually
What do
got
you
I heal people all the time.
we got a few nice things changed when we obviously we looked at refueling again a little bit for the Starlight coming out, and it's resulted in a few benefits for the Starfarer. With the pods got some more tension, some more cleanup, making them easier to get on and off both the Starfarer and the Starlight. We ended up changing how the nozzle worked. So at the moment you could change the nozzle on the Starfarer, but you could only do it if you did it through the VMA. But because we want the nozzles to be shared between them, we changed how the art was attaching, the items were attaching, so you'll be able to change nozzles between the Starfarer and the Starlight, and it just gave it a bit more time. But you're right, it does need more time, more development on it, because it's a really cool gameplay loop for someone that wants to do that.
Quantum Space Weasel says, why are you not incentivizing in-game financial rewards for all gameplay loops equally? You need to be able to get rich doing all loops. No. No, you don't. Not every game loop is supposed to be a path to riches. That's basically what I just got done saying. It's like
Somebody's
not all
desperate
ships
for
are supposed
in-game
to be able to
coin.
do all missions. Not all ships are supposed to be able to kill all other ships and stuff like this. There are choices to be made, and in Star Citizen, you're not meant to be one thing. You're not meant to be only this. You know, I'm only a miner, and that's the only loop I do.
Kind of funny.
If that's what you choose, so be it. But we are attempting to build a universe here
Excuse me.
where you're a miner on Monday, and you're a hauler on Tuesday, and you're a salvager on Wednesday, and maybe you're a medic on Thursday and stuff. And they all provide unique and interesting experiences with all their own unique and interesting rewards. Should we do this right? And no, not every profession needs to be a path to insane riches.
It's not always about the destination to wealth in that case. It's sometimes about the journey, just the experience.
Anything else we want to share about the Starlight?
I think one thing that excited me about the Starlight was how, because we obviously heard about it being in development while we were doing the Ironclad, and we can like rearm and refuel inside of the Ironclad Assault. And someone made a good point, like, oh, you could just stay out in space in the Ironclad and just come and refuel it, and then have all your smaller pit bulls come out of that, and you can like stay out in space. And that was like when it first started to click for me that, you know, when you talk about how it's not about necessarily being, you know, this path to riches, but if you're like the refueling guy for like a bigger org, and that bigger org has got these bigger initiatives and they're taking on, like, they're making money doing these other things, you might not get rich doing it, but you might get paid really well if you're really, really good at it. And you've, you know, maybe there's like, I'm sure there's orgs out there that heard what we were talking about, and it's like, well, we could have like a fleet of refueling ships, and their only job is to just make sure that all of our fighters and all of our big ships have got fuel. And at that point, maybe you could get rich because you're part of that bigger ecosystem and that bigger progression.
Oh yeah, and as you know, Tactical Strike Groups, which just came out in 4.8 here, is this next big step towards these more ship-based, coordinated ship-based gameplay. There are, of course, players and organizations out there that have been doing fleet ops for years.
How's the sound,
and stuff.
chat?
As those
Hear any
technologies
echoing, or are
continue
we
to
good?
develop, as armor continues to come on, as Maelstrom comes online, as time to kill starts to expand and stuff like this, and there's more time out in the fight. There's more capital ships come online. The Javelin after the Idris, the Odin, you know, and so like this, there will be more opportunities to, oh, this fight isn't done, and for these larger ships, they can't fit in the bay of an Idris and can't fit in the bay of an 8-9 jump. They're going to need refueling ships in order to stay in the fight and stuff. So there's even a role within fleet ops for refueling ships, and which is why, to answer the question that we started at the beginning of this, why a refueling ship is at DefenseCon, which I just remembered to come back around to.
Nice.
It's like Origin 2.
Sometimes it works. All right, we have got one more ship to look at today, and that is, I sat in a room. We sat in a room. We sat in a conference room with Chris in the middle of last year, pitching the ships for 2026 and whatnot. And after I got done begging, please, can we just do an Origin? I just would like an Origin, please, and whatnot. I just we pushed our luck, and I stood in front of the big man himself and said, Chris, it's a shark with a frickin' laser beam on its head.
Oh, the Tiburon.
And that's the story of the Aegis
Okay,
Tiburon. Let's take a
here's
look
the
at the
one
Aegis
I
Tiburon.
want to see.
So this is more than just a hammerhead that
It
just
doesn't
stuck a
even
laser
look
on.
like
at
a
this thing.
hammerhead anymore.
take us around and tell us
It's
what we're
got the
looking at,
basic shape,
Well,
but
the original brief was
man,
let's
they
add a
changed
beam
her,
weapon to the hammerhead.
didn't they, Chad?
And like you say, with
They freaking
every time we showed this in
changed
concept,
her. Wow.
it needs to be more shark, and I think I hope
Doesn't
that
even
we
look
nailed it
like
in
the
end.
same ship.
So I'll be honest, I was a little bit skeptic about how far to push it, and I think that's fair. And then I got, I'm just going to say it, I got an image of Bruce from Finding Nemo, and it was like this. I remember going to Alberto and being like,
Yeah, we sat down.
yeah, and it's like,
How?
okay, but I think this is Sam as well, wasn't it? That did
It
this.
was Sam again, yeah.
I think it was one of those where we pushed and pushed and pushed it, and then we kind of all saw it. It was like, yeah, he nailed it. Like he's got it. It's still
Look
it
at
definitely
those
has
guns.
that shark
It
DNA.
doesn't even look
There's
like the
no
same ship at all.
hiding from that. But it
Jeez.
feels like a ship that could exist. It feels very
Crazy.
brutal. It feels
To
very
think that's
aggressive.
based on the same
and it's got that
chassis as the Hammerhead.
absolutely exquisite line that just runs all the way down from the side down to the very, very tip. And I think, and it still sits in that sort of like that age of Aegis next to the Hammerhead, and that's something we're really, really conscious of doing, is because it was being built around the Hammerhead as its core. We wanted to make it would have been so easy to push its kind of let's call it its manufacturing date far into the future.
Definitely
we didn't want that. We wanted it to kind of
different
feel like
looking
it's still
ship.
kind of sat alongside the Hammerhead nicely. Yeah, I think it's super cool. And then the other kind of like, I guess, not happy accident, but the result of us having to put more time into it than we were expecting was we took a look at the turrets, and one of the things we looked at was like, actually, this would be a really good opportunity to put remote turrets onto it. And I think that was kind of absolutely the right decision. I think, functionality wise, that's super good. It allowed us to.
Yeah, don't bury the lead here. These are remote turrets, so your crew is not spread all.
Well, they are.
Not to the extent.
Not
of
to the
Hammerhead,
extent,
though.
yeah. They are much better protected within their kind of like little cubby holes. But
Gives them much better visibility. as
yeah,
well.
the kind of like the visibility, the range, just how we can package it, I think is super cool. One of the things that every time we kind of show Mark the concept, we had the weapons on the outside, and he's like, "No, put them on the inside," and we'd flip them. And I think little decisions like that kind of really improve the gameplay is like super cool. And then just visually, obviously the front looks like a shark, and then we kind of tried to kind of build on that with like the little armor pockets on the side that kind of feels like the gills, the kind of the big fin in the middle, which is actually like a big kind of cooling mechanism for the main laser. So we wanted to make sure that we didn't want it to be just out of fin down the middle. We wanted to give these things purpose, and obviously you've got a massive beam on the front of it, so we needed to kind of build in those kind of like cooling elements. And so it was one of those things where the more time we spent with it, the more things fell into place. So yeah,
You definitely exceeded the original.
the original brief was
mandate
like,
was-
can we just put a laser beam on it? Oh, yeah, easy, yeah, it was 2 weeks.
I remember every time we were going through the concept meeting, every time Ben was coming back and being like, "Oh, well, it needs to be more shark," and I just kept thinking to myself, this still has the same delivery date, more shark. This is starting to look like a lot more modifications, more shark. Okay, Ben.
There's this thing that I've learned that happens with art directors, creative directors, whatnot. You know, for 4 days of the week, there'll be you're just adding to my plate. You're asking for too much. That's way out of scope. And then something like this, where all you had to do was stick the laser on the hammerhead. It's like, no, we're just going to completely redo this, and then we're going to make it so much more than it was. It's that duality of art directors and creative directors is always amusing to me. Sorry. No. It's one. No, you do not have to apologize for this ship. This ship is gorgeous.
Like the production team.
This
actually
ship
nailed it
is
as well.
awesome.
I mean, they did a fantastic job.
It looks
of it.
cool.
I love the VFX on the laser beam. It's so cool when it actually fires and
I
everything.
actually dig this ship.
Yeah, and yes, it does have a shark paint. It does have a little. It's not the same as the Idris. It's got its own.
Not the same. Yep.
It's got its own shark paint. The interior is very similar to the Hammerhead because this was also an opportunity to gold standard the Hammerhead out. What is different about the interior?
So obviously the front changes because of the fact that there's a giant laser beam on the front of it. So the first thing.
Collar.
Yep. So there's no docking collar. Instead, it's got a much more expansive armory. So there's way more plugged into that. So there's way more for you to be able to actually use it.
So what does losing the docking collar do, though? Because folks have been asking in the chat what happened to the docking collar.
It doesn't have a docking collar. There is
What does
no
that do
docking.
for your gameplay?
I mean, it has to land in hangars at this point, so you lose some flexibility for having a ginormous laser beam.
And huge armory.
Yeah.
And the other question folks have had is, who fires the laser? Is that pilot controlled?
It's the pilot.
And so it is another pilot controlled laser.
The pilot does not have control of the remote turrets. So those do require someone to be sat in them.
Okay.
And lots of questions. So at this moment, the only beam weapon in the game is the K kit for the Idris.
Yep.
That's had somewhat of a dubious existence since it came out. You know, lots of what's the word I'm looking for? Lots of contentious comments about it being OP. In one patch it's OP, in another patch it doesn't seem to hit anything and do any damage and whatnot. What's been going on with the Idris laser? Let's talk about that.
I can't remember if it was late in 4.7.2 or in 4.8 PTU, but there were some fixes done that improved the hit registration of it, and also there was a bug where if you hit an attached item, say like a door, such as the front of the Idris, which is all doors, it was not correctly passing damage up the ship. That's now fixed in 4.8, but there are still some other quirks regarding it not correctly doing damage.
So almost the inverse of the command module thing.
Yes.
The command module, we need it to pass
exactly.
Damage, and this one it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, both of them are sort of tortuously related in that it's failing to pass damage in the correct way up and down the hierarchy, but people are working on it. They know what is wrong with it. It's just trying to find an elegant solution. Like most game development, in any studio, you fix one thing. Doesn't mean you don't make two other issues.
And
Hey
is that
Rufus,
with
what do you think of this
K-kit
ship?
on the Idris?
It
'Cause there is
looks
no Idris kit.
different from the
There's an M and
Hammerhead.
a
It doesn't
P
even
in
look
the
like
kit
the
that you can
same
apply.
ship, does it?
Does that apply to the Tiburon?
Yes, it applies to any beam weapon. So it also
I think it's
impacts
kind
the
of
Mauler
cool looking.
and TSG. That also has two beam weapons on it for shooting at you. But
Definitely a
it
departure from the
equally
old
affects
design.
all of them. We have so many different ways of doing gameplay. I'm trying not to explain what the reason is because I don't want people to abuse
Fair enough.
the way around it until we fix it.
But there have been fixes in the last.
Yes, it should be in a much better position in 4.8 than it was in 4.7.2.
Okay. And then they'll continue to
Yeah.
improve. Anything else we need to share about that? Let's take one more look at the Tiburon because it's just a really good looking ship.
I think the only thing for me to talk about is like this completes the trifecta of heavy gunships.
Right.
So you have the Hammerhead, which is your anti-fighter. You have the Perseus, which is your anti-large ships, and then this is sort of your anti-capital. Everything is designed to face forwards with this and deliver that pain.
It's also
I
a
would
bit of
say
a.
it would work well with
kind of
Perseus.
The gunship mentality has
Perseus
always been
can cover
engaging
the,
multiple targets. So
ship
the
pretty
Hammerhead and the Perseus are all about Perseus, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hammer and the Perseus are all about attacking multiple targets simultaneously, and this is a gunship, the first one that's like, no, focus fire to take down capital ships.
It still has those 4 remote turrets, so it can spread its fire, but really you want all that fire going in one direction.
It still has its anti-fighter turret at the very rear, just for a little bit more coverage. But realistically, your 4 main turrets at the front, they're designed to hit something bigger. You might be able to hit a fighter with it if you're a very, very good shot and the pilot isn't trying to avoid you, but realistically you're aiming at something big because you want to hurt it.
Yeah, and the tuning reflect that as well in general. So this, from the batch of ship that we have for 4.8, for us has been probably the most difficult one to tackle because it has a very specific purpose, and you want as a designer, right, to let the ship fulfill that purpose. And if it has to be the only one, only just that one. And the risk with this powerful weapon was basically to let that be too effective against even everything else that was not supposed to be. So, for example, against a Perseus or against a smaller ship like the Constellation. So our challenge here was to kind of try to make the ship interesting in order to go up against capital ships. So basically it was having enough maneuverability and enough agility to cope up with an Idris, right, and be somewhat safe just by orbiting around, keeping the distance, but also to not be effective against something more small and agile, like for example a Perseus. So the way we did that was basically playing out with the overall like feeling of the ship. So the ship is going to feel way less, like way more heavier than a Hammerhead, for example, even though they are similar. Clearly, like you have a giant laser beam on top of your head when you're piloting it, so you're going to feel it. You're going to struggle to stay on smaller target because, once again, the ship is going to be not responsive at all. But clearly you don't need that against a very giant target like an Idris or even something bigger, right? So this is going to be interesting to see come in play because also it's not going to be as armored as the Perseus and the Hammerhead itself, so it can be potentially threatened by those smaller ships. So maybe a Perseus showing up in the battlefield would pose a serious threat against a Tiburon and can maybe nail that quite quickly if the gunners are very strong.
That's really, as you said, that's sort of the rule. The Perseus is designed to take out other ships of its class. So
it'll also be very susceptible to torpedoes because of the fact that it's lost all of its anti-fighter turrets except for the one at the rear. If there's a Polaris in the area, the big turrets aren't really going to be able to stop it.
If the turrets work, or the torpedoes work.
Yeah. Yep. There's that.
I've seen the same question a few times in chat. We saw it when we saw. Please do a mining hammerhead.
A what?
I want to battle mole.
Just a mole, isn't it?
Yeah, don't people use them to fight anyway?
That would be the
One of the
biggest
questions
mining
that's coming up in the
laser
chat a lot
ever
was on
made.
social media is obviously this was
What?
this was built on the Hammerhead chassis. Is it a variant?
That'd be funny.
I'm always curious about this question because there have been some very clear rules about this since the beginning of the project. A variant shares the name of the base ship. It's an Avenger Warlock. It's a Constellation Phoenix. It's an Aurora LX or whatnot.
Saber Raven.
It's a Saber Raven. When it shares the name of the base ship, that's a variant. When it doesn't share the name of the base ship, it's not a variant. But that rule has been in place since the project began. But there's always, nevertheless, 13 years on, we still get a lot of questions and whatnot. So
325A COF.
Yeah.
15P.
Yeah, there's always a very clear naming attachment to the base ship. We're always very deliberate when we do that. And one of the reasons when we do, from the Mantis to the Meteor, and one of the reasons we changed the name is to make it,
Meteor,
we thought, very
not
clear
media.
that this is not a variant. This is a wholly new ship built on existing chassis. The way that there are multiple ships built on the old Challenger chassis for Dodge, or there was a Charger actually, not the Challenger, and stuff like that. So
Hey Shig, what's
we can
up,
clear
man?
that up right now, and hopefully
What up, man?
that can get picked up and people
Yeah,
can
watching
shout from the
Star Citizen
rooftops.
live.
When the name is different, not a variant. When it's the name
What's up
plus
with
a
you,
different differentiator, or in your case for the Origin ships, if it's
Good to see you
if it's
again.
a number difference, it's the same. So with that, how are we feeling about this ship? So this Defense Con, we have a pretty wide variety of ships. The Ironclad and the Ironclad Assault. I mean, I don't know how you're going to make another cargo ship after the Ironclad. Personally, the Ironclad, to my, I've been saying this for last year. It's for my money, it's the best cargo ship.
So challenge accepted.
We have all the letters of the alphabet.
For the whole
Remember
series.
that.
You did a whole video on that one, Jared.
Yeah, I'm hoping missions work
I think
for
we made
you
it very
too.
clear the whole series is dead.
Yeah.
there's no more hulls to be made after
So
that.
see?
Because we can.
So so the Pitbull for the snub fighters, a relatively a small class of ship, no pun intended. That's just with the Fury and might be some use for snub more snub ships in the future. Do I want to hint at Alien Week? No, I don't want to mention Alien Week now. The Starlight, I did no such thing. The Starlight pushing refueling gameplay and making it more accessible to new people, and of course the Tiburon rounding out that trifecta, as you said, of heavy gunships between anti-fighter, anti-gunship, and anti-capital ship. At this point, that's the end of the show today. But come on back on Sunday of all days, Sunday, May 26th, for the last ship being revealed at DefenseCon, where we're gonna go all through the Anvil Odin, the new battlecruiser.
really?
That's becoming available on the same day. We're gonna fire up the thing. We're gonna go inside the concept model. We're gonna explore the rooms inside. We're gonna take a better look at a concept ship than we've ever done, assuming it works. That's why we've made Alberto sit here. We're doing this now. We're gonna go off the air and then we're gonna do it. And it'll be pre-taped because none of us are coming into work on Sunday. So come on back on Sunday, the May, what did I say it was?
24.
May 24th. Let's have I love having the guy here.
It's not the first time.
I should have a guy here. What did I say, the 26th? Yeah,
Jared.
24th. I love having a guy here. Just bring, I should have like a little Ed McMahon.
We'll just make him a little working terminal. You can just sit there doing concept mesh.
But yeah.
All I hear is you got a new office. Like,
It's a nice office.
Yeah.
I will.
He's just empty for like most of the day.
wouldn't
So you
say
just sat here on your own.
You get a nice
sorry,
office.
Jared, just trying to close, aren't you? Sorry.
But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll thank you guys at the end of the second half, and then you guys are still got to work. Thanks for watching, everybody. Come back on the 24th to check out part 2 of this with the Anvil Odin. Be sure to check out the M80 coming tomorrow, the Starlight coming on Monday, and then the Tiburon coming on Wednesday. I did that right?
Hopefully.
Sure. Yeah.
Probably. The schedule's online, folks. And remember, no matter what you see as far as the free fly goes, we are not going to start that free fly until the issues with the mission system subside. So
Thank God.
I can't tell you when that's going to happen. There's just more. It's more important that we protect the current experience as much as possible for existing players than open it up to
Yeah, I
everybody
mean,
else. So
really.
we're just going to sit
The
and we're going to
current
wait.
fleet-
And when we feel the
free
game is in
fly
a
would
better
be a
spot,
big mistake
that's when
right
we'll fire up that free fly for your friends. So thanks for watching. See you next week, everybody. Bye.
Gotta agree with that. Have to agree with that. Okay, chat. I have to agree with that wholeheartedly. Because free fly is gonna just tank everything. So yeah. Good idea that they're not doing free fly. Smart. Very smart. I commend them for that. I wouldn't. The state of the game right now, with no working missions, no way. No absolute way would I do it. Probably the smartest single thing they've done today, to date, for a while. So we're going to see the Odin the 24th. Very nice. That's going to be fun. So yeah, that's interesting. Anyhow, Chad, has anyone bought anything this Defense Con or no? I am considering getting a pit bull, but I don't know about anything else. But the only thing I'm doing is reconstituting a pack. Say the the Drake one, get the Tiburon, and that's about it. So yeah. Not interested in just. I'm actually not. Yeah. Not going to do a full rehaul on my entire fleet. If I can avoid it. So yeah, I'm right. I'm gonna wrap up here. I appreciate everyone for dealing with me for about X amount of almost in 2 hours. On Twitch, I am going to. Who am I going to raid? Let's raid good old HC Vertigo. And I'll bid thee good day and have a great one, guys. 07.